All right, so you're looking for a dog trainer here in Fort Collins. Let's talk about how to find the perfect match for you and your pup.
So here's what we're going to cover. We've got 5 main steps that'll take you all the way from figuring out what you need to actually practicing those new skills out and about in the city.
First up, let's really think about our lifestyle here in Fort Collins. Why is having a well-trained dog so key to actually enjoying this awesome place we live?
I mean, we've all been there, right? You've got your dog, it's a beautiful day, and you're headed for the Padre River Trail. Good training is the difference between that being a really nice, relaxing walk and a total stress fest for you, your dog, and everybody you pass.
Think about it. We live in a place where we might stroll through Old Town, hike at Horsetooth, or hang out on a brewery patio. Our dogs are right there with us. They need to be comfortable and confident in all these spots, whether it's dealing with crowds at the farmer's market or just navigating the Spring Creek Trail.
Okay, so we get why training is important for our FOCO lifestyle. But what are the options? Let's look at the different kinds of training formats out there so you can pick what works for you.
So 2 of the most popular options are in-home training and group classes. In-home is awesome for those specific problems that, happen at home, like barking at the door or jumping on counters. Then you've got group classes, which are fantastic for practicing focus when there are other dogs and people around. It's all about learning to listen with distractions.
And hey, it doesn't stop there. There are other formats too. You've got things like board and train, which is a really intensive option, or day training, where a trainer works with your dog while you're at work. There are also private lessons for one-on-one focus and even video calls for remote help. Right, so maybe you've decided on a format. Now comes the big part. How do you actually choose a professional? Let's dig into how to vet a trainer and what you should be asking.
This is probably the most important takeaway. You really want to find someone who uses positive reinforcement and who understands what your goals are for your life here in Fort Collins. They should be able to set realistic expectations for you.
So what is positive reinforcement? It's pretty straightforward, really. It just means you reward your dog for doing the right thing, with a treat, praise, a toy, whatever they love. It builds trust and makes learning fun for them. All right, let's talk about those confusing letters you see after a trainer's name. They can look like alphabet soup, but they actually mean something. For general skills and good manners, something like CPDT-KA is what you're looking for. But if you're dealing with bigger stuff, like fear, serious anxiety, or aggression, you want to look for a certification like CBCC-KA. Okay, before you hire anyone, have these 5 questions ready to go. Think of it as your interview checklist. Asking these will help you feel really confident that you're making the right call. All right, let's get down to the brass tacks. Money. What should you expect to budget for training, and what are you getting for that investment?
So here's the rough breakdown of what costs look like in Fort Collins for 2025. As you can see, there's a pretty wide range. Group classes are usually the most affordable option, while something like a board and train program is going to be a much bigger investment.
And just to zero in on one of those, a single private session will usually run you somewhere in that $125 to $210 range. This is a really good choice if you have just 1 or 2 specific things you want to work on.
Okay, so the sessions with your trainer. That's just step 1. The real magic happens when you take everything you've learned and start practicing it out in the real world, right here in Fort Collins.
And we have so many great places to do that. The Padre River Trail is perfect for practicing how to pass bikes and other people. The trails at Horsetooth are great for working around hikers. Even just the sidewalks in Old Town are a masterclass in focusing amidst a ton of distractions. But what about off-leash stuff? How do you practice getting your dog to come back every time you call? Where can you do that safely? Well, luckily, Fort Collins has some fantastic, fully fenced dog parks. Places like Fossil Creek, Soft Gold, and Spring Canyon are perfect for working on that recall in a safe, legal, and controlled environment.
And just a quick but really important reminder about the local rules here. Your dog needs to be on a leash that's 6 feet or shorter in all public areas, unless you're in a spot that's specifically designated as an off-leash park.
When you put in the work, it's not really just about having an obedient dog. It's about being able to confidently share every part of this amazing city with them. So good luck with your training. I hope you and your dog get to enjoy everything Fort Collins has to offer, from a quiet walk in your neighborhood to a busy afternoon on a brewery patio.